They love me when I lower my shoulders just to fit. They praise the quiet posture, called shrinking wise and lit. They honor tame survival, pretended fear was grace. They only love the lion when he hid his regal face. I was never built to serve a smaller vision. Lions don't kneel, they widen every room. They own the floor they walk on, and write the exit too. If presence shakes their balance, good let truth advise. Lions don't kneel, they rise and redefine. They fear the day I straighten, the moment teeth return. They prayed I learned obedience, but kingdoms must be earned. They wanted loyal silence, a ruler they could tame. But thrones are not inherited, they're carved into a name. Strength isn't loud, it's slow and quiet posture. Lions don't kneel, that's how the crown is proved. Respect is not requested, it's built into the move. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Lions don't kneel, not beneath weaker skies. If they fear the roar, they should hear the silence. History needs warning, this one's justified. No bound will break my pride. Stand high. Higher. Higher. They love the leash when hunger hit, kept plates just out of reach. They praise obedience as virtue, starvation as teach. They like the wolf in silence, with teeth tucked deep away. They only trust the monster when the monster learns to obey. I was never bred to beg for permission. Wolves don't kneel for crumbs, they hunt what isn't given. Call the night a sin, their sin keeps legends living. If footsteps shake their comfort, good let fear advise. Wolves don't kneel for crumbs, they rise and own the night. very small a shadows called broken fangs behave. They pray the wild stays quiet, that instinct stays enslaved. But winter trains the killer and hunger hones the goal. They wrote the rules of comfort, I learned the price of soul. Mercy is chosen, submission is taught. Walls don't kneel for crumbs, they carve a throne from stone. If silence feels unstable, that's focus on its own. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Wolves don't kneel for crumbs, they claim what's worth the fight. Shouldn't wake the hunger. Walls don't kneel for crumbs, they feast on faded silk. They stand on bone and ashes and call that place their will. If the moon looks like a warning, it's only telling why. No kneel, no mercy. Track the scent or clear the path. They smiled like loyal servants, kept still behind their praise. They called the setup friendship, planned endings in the haze. They thought a shadowed cut would bring a king to heel. They only trust their courage when the lights conceal the steel. I was never made to fear a blade. Keep the knife, swing it in the light. If courage has a heartbeat, let this pulse in the fight. Keep the knife, let trembling hands decide. Kings don't beg for mercy, kings survive. They earned their beds in secrets and called it playing smart. But spite is a dull weapon, precision is an art. A lion learns from bleeding, a wolf from winter's bite. They gave me pain for practice, and that was their invite. Fear is a teacher, I just learned faster. Keep the knife, raise the stakes tonight. If honesty sounds violent, let truth deliver fright. Keep the knife, eyes open wide. Steel meets bone, and I don't die. They gift me pain, I'll spend it like a king. Watch how the tables turn. Let history mark the moment the coward learned to burn. If crowns are carved with edges, cut a cleaner line. No flinch, no favor, this throne is mine. Present steel, receive judgment. They love the velvet surface, ignored the iron seam. They praise the gentle posture and call the edge a dream. They thought the silk was final, that softness meant surrender. They never learned that roses grow thorns for a defender. I was never soft, just disciplined. There's steel behind the smile. Don't judge me by the grace. The calm is just a courtesy. The metal runs the place. If elegance unnerves them, good, let instincts guide. There's steel behind the smile. Steel does not apologize. They worship easy rulers, the ones who bow for peace. They fear the ones with silence, the ones who never plead. But kindness isn't weakness, it's aim with better aim. I'll stay polite and lethal while they choke on their own blame. Gentle isn't weak, it's focus dressed as kindness. There's steel behind the smile, and law beneath the tone. If roses hide a dagger, then this garden stands alone. If distance feels like danger, it's simply truth refined. There's steel behind the smile, respect or pay the fine. If they want the warmth, let them earn the heat. There's steel behind the smile. Remember what that means. Grace forward, edge behind, a kingdom in between. If crowns require composure, I'll wear the perfect lie. Soft voice, hard spine, teeth disguise. Meet the charm, obey the steel. brag with noisy courage, believing volume proves their laughter hide the shaking where honesty won't move. They think a stare is harmless, a glance can make them run. They never held attention that warns what's soon begun. I was never tasked to explain a warning. Eyes like loaded guns, don't test the aim tonight. Patience is a trigger, and silence pulls it right. If glances make them stutter, let trembling testify. Eyes like loaded guns, decision in the sideline. They practice borrowed swagger, pretend they own the room. They fear what doesn't shout, but still predicts their doom. They measure man by volume, but weight lives in the gaze. Those who stand too close learn how quietly power stays. Threats are for actors, intent is for kings. Eyes like loaded guns, the chamber built of will. If courage needs a witness, watch the stillness kill. If distance feels like danger, that's judgment in disguise. Eyes like loaded guns, truth reading through the light. Oh, 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 verdicts in a glance. Cowards quote excuses, the sovereign rights to stand. If silence feels like judgment, it is, so step aside. One look, one law, I decide. Hold the gaze or leave the room. They give their fear a voice and let it guide the plan. They worship hesitation, mistake alarm for stand. They talk themselves from glory, then call it being wise. They never learned out hunger feeds off the best of lives. I was never raised to keep a coward's counsel. I buried doubt 6 feet under thought. No room for maybe later, no tomb for what I fought. If silence feels like judgment, good, let fear revise. I bury doubt and watch ambition rise. They feed their hesitation, let failure teach them why. They kneel before the worry and wonder why they die. But pressure isn't poison, it's fuel that kills the slow. I drain the veins of weakness and burn what doesn't grow. Focus is a blade, cut deep before it cuts you. I bury doubt, no second graves tonight. If destiny needs digging, I'll break the ground in spite. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. I bury doubt and judge the compromise. Don't ask if I can, I already did. I buried doubt, deny the fearful breath, let hesitation choke. I'll shoulder every test. If progress sounds like footsteps, it's mine, so step aside. Pure will, no guilt, no guide. Throw dirt on excuses, they taught me trust with half a blade and left it in my spine. They call it just a lesson, I call it wasting time. They smile across the table, their eyes rehearse the sin. They drop their little weapon and I refuse to hand it in. I was never built to beg the guilty's pardon. The knife you dropped, I kept it clean, sharpened on the silence where your mercy should have been. If memory feels heavy, good, let truth advise. The knife you dropped still fits my hand just fine. hide behind forgiveness, pretend that scars forget. They quote their softer virtue to dodge their quiet death. But pain's a faithful teacher, it never leaves its class. I learned the art of waiting till the mirror shows your mask. Revenge is rhythm, timing overrated. The knife you drop still shines like proof. I use it for precision, not sentiment or truth. If conscience starts to whisper, tell it this is mine. The knife you drop still carves the line. Forgive, I file the edge instead. The knife you dropped became my crown of steel. You wrote the script of vengeance, I signed it just to heal. If guilt begins to tremble, remember who decides. Your blade, my turn, good night. Don't reach for what you lost. Ask me to be softer, to keep the hunger still. They want a friendly monster, a beast that's trained to chill. They hope I lose my instincts, forget the nights I bled. They want the wolf obedient, a crown without a head. I was never meant to chew a gentle story. I'm made of teeth, not built to beg or please. My mercy has conditions, my patience has a fee. If comfort us offends them, good, let fear advise. I'm made of teeth, that's why I survive. They pray I drop the pressure, they claw the sharpened aim. They call call their weakness virtue, might drive a thing to shame. But hunger is a compass, an instinct never lies. They fear the one who knows that power never dies. Compromise is poison. I spit instead of sip. I'm made of teeth, the kind that never dull. I earn what they avoid, I win what they unknow. If courage makes them jealous, look away while I rise. I'm made of teeth. The mark is in the bite. Don't touch the jaw. You fear in motion. I'm made of teeth, no plastic crown required. I chew through doubt and walls, I rise where they get tired. If history needs hunger, I'll feed it every night. Sharp mind, sharp will, sharp back. Respect the beast that thinks. They love me when I lower my shoulders just to fit. They praise the quiet posture, called shrinking wise and lit. They honor tame survival, pretended fear was grace. They only love the lion when he hid his regal face. I was never built to serve a smaller vision. Lions don't kneel, they widen every room. They own the floor they walk on, and write the exit to. If presence shakes their balance, good let truth advise. Lions don't kneel, they rise and redefine. They fear the day I straighten, the moment teeth return. They prayed I learned obedience, but kingdoms must be earned. They wanted loyal silence, a ruler they could tame. But thrones are not inherited, they're carved into a name. Strength isn't loud, it's slow and quiet posture. Lions don't kneel, that's how the crown is proved. Respect is not requested, it's built into the move. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Lions don't kneel, not beneath weaker skies. If they fear the roar, they should hear the silence. needs warning. This one's justified. No bound break my pride. Stand high. Higher. 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 They liked it when the fire dimmed, kept warm by stolen light. They praised the quiet version, the one that wouldn't bite. They loved a crown that bowed to them, a sovereign made small. They only loved the lion when he pretended crawl. I was never built to make anyone comfortable. Lions don't apologize for the room their power owns, for the hunger in their heartbeat, for the truth inside their bones. If prison shakes their balance, good, let them realize. Lions don't apologize for the reason they survive. The spine grew straight, the second word was known. They feared the orbit shifting away from their control. They want a king who whispers, a ruler who obeys. But lions can't be loyal to the hands that clip their fangs. Strength isn't rude, they just learn weakness as manners. Yeah. Lions don't apologize when the timid step aside, when the ground begins to rumble under every step decided. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Lions don't apologize for refusing to be quiet. So they can handle sparks. If the shadow feels like danger, it's only naming who's in charge. Lions don't apologize for conquering what's old, for scars that built a kingdom, for the roar that finally showed. If the crown looks sharp from distance, step closer, pay the price. I don't apologize. Lions don't apologize. Not anymore, not ever. Get used to the sound of the roar. Whoa. I spent years explaining what they never try to hear, softening my truth just to keep them near. I held my tongue to keep the peace, but peace was never real. It was just me bleeding quietly while they called it ideal.
I gave too many chances to those who never changed.
This is the last apology, the last time I kneel. I'm done shrinking my story so someone else can heal. This is the last apology, the last word I reveal. If you wanted my forgiveness, you should have tried to feel. I walked through every question just to prove I meant no harm, but I learned that playing gentle only breaks your own arms. Now the truth sits cleaner when spoken from the spine. If a bridge has to burn, then the fault was never mine.
I gave too many chances to those who never change.
This is the last apology, the last time I kneel. I'm done shrinking my story so someone else can heal. This is the last apology, the last word I reveal. If you wanted my forgiveness, you should have tried to feel. Silence doesn't mean surrender. It means I finally chose myself. This is the last apology, the last echo I'll leave. I won't explain my heart to those who refuse to see. This is the last apology. I'm walking out complete, not kinder, not colder, just finally free. They want the peak without the climb, the throne without the scars. They love the legends highlight reel, skip every shattered part. They quote the softer stories, erase the nights in chains. They think the crown is polished, not hammered out of pain. I was never taught to worship painless victories. No crown without blood, no power without scars. They preach about their comfort, I learned to walk through wars. If honesty feels violent, let history decide. No crown without blood, survival sanctified. They hide from every fracture, call courage reckless sin. They pray their fears are wisdom, refuse to bleed to win. But bone is built from pressure, and strength is carved by trial. The sovereign isn't shiny, the sovereign's built to last a while. Glory is messy, truth is stained. If comfort wrote the gospel, revise that weaker script. No crown without blood. The price is always grit. Write the names, honor the cause. No crown without blood. Say it innocent. Let Merrill sign the contract. Let sacrifice a man. If coronations tremble, remind them why they shame. Real kings bleed. Real kings made. Where the weight. Where the weight. They say that strength needs cheering, that power needs a crowd. They panic in the silence, mistake the quiet for doubt. They measure worth in watchers, in claps and borrowed praise. They never felt the focus that solitude can raise. I was never forged to rust in company. I'm sharpest when alone. The steel forgets to bend. The quiet hones the purpose. The stillness is my friend. If distance makes them nervous, good, let instincts guide. I'm sharpest when alone. Precision magnified. They worship crowd approval, survive on borrowed spine. They drown themselves in noise, afraid of their own mind. But silence isn't empty, it's where the vision grows. I sharpen in the open, where confidence can show. Noise is a cushion, focus is a blade. I'm sharpest when alone. No tremor in the grip. The edge improves in winter. The calm refines the hit. If quiet looks like danger, it's wisdom in disguise. I'm sharpest when alone. Edge legalized. Let them miss me. I don't miss the blood. When alone, the kingdom fits my hand. The map reduces nicely to one decisive stand. If gates require crowding, let crowds enjoy their way. I'll pass, unlock, create. Clear the room. Keep the edge. They want the crown for pictures, the kingdom for applause. They love the look of power, but never pay its cost. They cheer the easy moment, ignore the sleepless night. They think a throne is comfort, not discipline and fight. I was never raised for borrowed glory, crown heavy, shoulders strong. That's how legends stand. They carry every failure, still build a better plan. If pressure makes them crumble, good, let fate advise. Crown heavy, shoulders strong, rise until you rise. They want the praise without the bruise, the victory without strain. They want applause for dreaming. I sweat inside the rain. They wait for perfect timing. I work when sleep should come. They brag about the goalpost. I drag the whole thing home. Comfort wins the moment, pressure wins the war. Crown heavy, shoulders strong, that weight becomes the proof. If lightning scars the metal, it's forged into the truth. If envy starts to whisper, don't answer, just climb. Crown heavy, shoulders strong, history needs no sign. If they want this high, let them earn the breath. Crown heavy, shoulders strong, knees steady, spine aligned. Let gravity explain what cowards leave behind. If destiny demands it, I'll pay the full advice. Stand tall, stand sure, stand twice. Carry the way when the speak above me, pretend I wasn't there. They clung to louder voices, ignored the quiet stare. But silence builds a legend, and pressure shapes the throne. Now every step I'm taking reminds them what I've grown. I was never meant to beg for recognition.
They whisper my name,
not loud but out of fear. The echo follows footsteps, reminds them I am near. If presence shakes their balance, good, let truth advise. They whisper my name because I that storms would take their due. They never planned survival would make me more than new. They prayed I'd lose my appetite, collapse beneath the climb. They never learned that pressure only sharpens what's designed. Recognition earned, not granted. They whisper my name behind their guarded backs. They feel the walls grow thinner. They hear me in the cracks. If power feels like thunder, listen to the signs. They whisper my say it clearly.
Too long shining, trying to be the light. Played the role of harmless, held my fire tight. But kindness has a limit when they take more than they give. Every time I bend, I forgot how to live. Redemption don't mean much if it change your hand. Lose the halo, let the darkness flow. Every angel breaks when the truth starts to show. Lose the gentle till it turned into a brew. Followed all their rules till I learned how to use. They feel what they can't shake. They feel when you won't fold. So I stopped being precious. Now I'm ruthless and cold.
Redemption don't mean much if it change your hands.
Lose the halo, let the darkness flow. Every angel breaks when the truth starts to show. Lose the halo, let your real face glow. If they wanted someone holy,
they should've left you alone.
light was never mine. The fire always was. Lose the halo, let the shadows grow. You're stronger in the places they hoped you wouldn't go. Lose the halo, wear your scars like gold. Set out a bow. I don't need a golden crown or a kingdom in the sun. Power lives in silence when the talking's done. Let them chase the torture, let them fight for open praise. I build my throne in darkness where the truth outweighs the blame. I don't shine, I consume. This is my shadow throne, where the unseen grows strong. You won't hear my footsteps till you know you were wrong. This is my shadow throne, built with patience and bone. Light belongs to heroes, but the dark is where kings form. I don't need their stories, I don't crave their cheer. I rise through the quiet that most men fear. Every scar is a scepter, every loss is a right. Some kingdoms need sunlight, mine was forged in the night. I don't shine, I consume. This is my shadow throne, where the unseen grows strong. You won't hear my footsteps till you know you were wrong. This is my shadow throne, built with patience and bone. Light belongs to heroes, but the dark is where kings form.
silence holds more. Power isn't loud, it waits behind the door. This is my shadow throne, where they fear what I'm known. You can keep your daylight, I'll keep the unknown. This is my shadow throne, quiet, cold, and grown. If you wanna see dominance, come face me alone. When the sun goes down and the noise all fades, that's when the real ones rise to collect what's unpaid. Daylight is for the timid, night is for the few. The hour of wolves begins when the world stops watching you. Silence sharpens vision, darkness makes you true.
This is the hour of wolves, where the fearless move bold, where the broken turn hunters and the quiet take control. This is the hour of wolves. You can hide if you choose, but the night don't protect you from the ones you refuse.
I track the path forgotten, I walk where others fear. I learn my strength in shadows where doubt can't interfere. If courage has a birthplace, it's carved in midnight air, when the timid stop breathing and the brave step out bare. Silence sharpens vision, darkness makes you true.
This is the hour of wolves, where the fearless move bold, where the broken turn hunters and the quiet take control. This is the hour of wolves. You can hide if you choose, but the night don't protect you from the ones you refuse.
This is the hour of wolves, where the weak dissolve, where the shadows crown kings and the silent of all.
This is the hour of wolves. If you hear footsteps behind, just know it's not danger, it's your dead coming to find.
gave you too much room. Thought patience made me strong. Held back the blade I carried, but I held it for too long. I let you cross the line, thinking peace could keep it clean. But mercy is a doorway where the cruel slip in unseen. I mistook your weakness for a reason to forgive. Mercy was a mistake, I won't repeat again. Every time I soften, I let you slip my skin. Mercy was a mistake, kindness let you in. Now I walk with colder steps and cut where I begin. Restraint was noble. I thought silence made me wise. But wolves don't spare their rivals. They survive by what they realize. You took my hesitation, wore them like a crown. So now I sharpen edges where I once backed down. I mistook your weakness for a reason to forgive. Mercy was a mistake, I won't repeat again. Every time I soften, I let you slip my skin. Mercy was a mistake, kindness let you in. Now I walk with colder steps and cut where I begin. Soft hearts get broken, sharp hearts get fed. Mercy was a mistake, I'm done being the cure. If kindness is a weakness, then I'll choose to be obscure. Mercy was a mistake, my eyes are finally clear. I don't rise with open arms, I rise when I disappear.
When you grind through the night, I pour the truth in my cup to keep my focus tight. I don't chase the sunlight, I make my own heat. Every step is intention, every win is concrete. If the world slows down, I just shift my lane. just shift my lane. Oh, yeah. Ice in my coffee, fire in my veins. I work through the silence while they hide from the strain. Ice in my coffee, fire in my veins. I keep my calm on the surface, but inside I maintain the flame. Cold and warm purpose, that's how champions are made. Oh, yeah. Ice in my coffee, fire in my veins. You see the smoke of my progress long before you see my name. Ice in my coffee, fire in my veins. I don't rise for attention, I rise because I'm trained.
You like me when I bent, when I whispered more than spoke, when I softened every truth just to keep the peace unbroke. But gentle only works till the world draws blood. So I traded open hands for the armor of the misunderstood. You wanted the old me, but there for a reason. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, when the kindness burns away, when the warmth you took for granted becomes a strength you can't sway. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, when my silence holds more weight. You taught me how to vanish, now watch me elevate. I don't raise my voice now, I don't ask you to explain. I let distance do the talking while I walk out of the frame. You thought you knew my edges, but I was holding back the blade. Now you get the version of me that never bows or fades. You wanted the old me, but he left for a reason. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, when the kindness burns away, when the warmth you took for granted becomes the strength you can't sway. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, when my silence holds more weight. You taught me how to vanish, now watch me elevate. Soft heart breaks, the steel one breaks through. I chose the version that survives without you. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, when the fire's in my stride. I don't owe you explanations, I just owe myself my pride. You'll miss me when I'm ruthless, but the truth is clear and clean. I rose the day I stopped trying to fit your scene. They rush into the thunder, call panic, staying strong. They chase the noisy moment, confuse fast moves with wrong. They worship every impulse, mistake reaction for skill. They never learn that patience can push the hardest will. I was never meant to sprint for borrowed finish lines. Cold hands won victory, slow breathing wins the fight. They swing with nerves on fire, I strike when odds are right. If stillness makes them anxious, good, let fear advise. Cold hands won victory, precision never lies. Oh, oh. They spend their strength too early, burn fuel on shaky fear. They crumble from the pressure, they build themselves to hear. But calm is loaded thunder, and silence packs a punch. I'll let them waste their heartbeat and take what's left for lunch. Composure is a blade, use the pause to aim. Cold hands won victory, the patient on the end. They hustle for approval, I move when truths extend. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Cold hands won victory, control is always wise. Let them think I froze, I'm choosing when to strike. Oh. Victory, the art of knowing when their flames die out in seconds. I burn again, again. If fate demands endurance, I'll teach it how to fight. Still focus, right time. Wait, then when? Then when? They rest on comfort's pillow, call laziness a right. They think success is morning and never guard the night. They love the hours wasted, ignore what work demands. They dream inside the daylight, I build with sleepless hands. I was never taught to trust a quiet clock. Power never sleeps, it keeps the lights on low. It moves when no one's watching and wins before they know. Sleeps, and neither do I. They celebrate the weekend, declare their comfort king.
They cheer the early finish, but never crown the thing. They brag without a footprint, pretend their progress came. But kings don't bow to bedtime, results protect their name. Rest is earned, not given. Power never sleeps, it tracks the wasted time. It sharpens in the shadows and plans the perfect climb. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Power never sleeps, it owns what they deny. It's patience with a bite. It's hunger on the mornings they swear they'll win tonight. If destiny needs waking, I'll set the sunrise right up first. Last out all night. Might by volume, mistake loud mouths for kings. They think the throne is granted to the noisiest who sings. They claim the roar is power, that silence means defeat. They never felt the pressure when real authority speaks quiet heat. I was never meant to plead for echoes. A throne made of silence speaks louder than a crown. It judges without shouting, it dares you to back down. If quiet shakes their courage, God let fear advise. A throne made of silence, that's how real kings rise. Kings rise. They drown themselves in thunder, call chaos standing strong. They hide their hollow marrow in a crowded little song. But emptiness is kingdom, and stillness is a blade. I let the hush grow heavy until the weak obey. Attention is rented, authority is owned. A throne made of silence reduces crowds to one. If trembling needs a lesson, That's how real kings arise. Kings rise. Let them talk, let them tire. I'll rule when they run out of words. A throne made of silence, colder, stronger law. It crowns without permission. It cuts through every flaw. If distance feels like danger, step closer, pay the price. Hush speaks, crowns keep. Think twice. Think twice. Lower your voice. Raise your respect.
They wait for signs and gatekeepers, for someone else to choose. They call their fear good judgment, their hesitation truth. They love to blame the timing, excuses dressed as fate. They paint their cage as comfort and worship every weight. I was never built to need approval.
Kings don't ask permission. They ride the road and go. They take what's left unclaimed and make the future old. If motion shakes their balance, good, let progress bite. Kings don't ask permission. They move and worlds comply.
They trade ambition daily for someone else's praise. They dream in secret hours, but stall in public days.
I won't reduce my vision to fit inside their fear. They stare at maps for courage. I walk and make it clear.
Consensus is comfort.
Decision is power. Kings don't ask permission. They speak through what they do. If thunder needs a reason, the aftermath will prove. If confidence offends them, look away while I rise. Kings don't ask permission. They move and pride comply. If they fear the step, they'll hate the arrival.
Kings don't ask permission. They claim we're cowards scared. They organize the heavens and make the clock submit. If borders want a blessing, the stamp reads occupied. Act first, own later, I decide.
Open the page.
They called restraint a weakness, named soft edges tame. They fattened off forgiveness, laughed inside the flame. They thought that mercy's language would never learn to bite. They forgot that good remembers how to stand and fight. I was never built to let the wicked coast. Good men go to war when peace becomes a cage. Good men go to war when truth is underpaid. If thunder needs a purpose, let lightning justify. Good men go to war, and villains wonder why. They raised a glass to chaos, to every quiet theft. They turned their backs on justice and cheered for what was left. But dignity grows armor, and empathy draws steel. The day the line was crossed became the day I healed. Compassion isn't fragile, it's a blade that guards the heart. Good men go to war when kindness is abused. Good men go to war when mercy's being used. If halos start to tarnish, polish them with fire. Good men go to war, their patience now required. Pray they meet the warning, not the march. Good men go to war, return with quiet eyes. They bury what was rotten, resurrect what's right. If hymns sound like a battle, it's conscience keeping time. Stand tall, lockstep, draw a line. Let justice in.